Ganer. I'm a partner in our outsourced accounting practice with a focus on outsourced family office services.
My role here at Bonadio is an efficiency center coordinator, and what I do is really make sure the background noise is sorted out for audit teams and clients.
I've been at Bonadio for 5 months now. I was with formerly known as Cover & Rossiter for 28 years. I work in the assurance line. I do mostly nonprofit audits and their tax work.
I volunteer a lot of my time coaching, and then outside of soccer, which is my life's passion, I do a lot of mental health advocacy. The mission and goal of the Make Mental podcast is super simple but powerful. We aim to normalize the conversation surrounding mental health through 3 things: community, storytelling, and healing. And what that looks like is various community events. We get a lot of volunteers that come on and share their mental health stories. And then finally, healing. We do peer-to-peer sessions. I do public speaking and share my personal story with mental health that really lets others know that it's okay to struggle sometimes, but just know you're not alone in it. Junior year of college, I was the captain of our soccer program at Oswego. I played there, and we had one practice. I remember it. I just wasn't feeling like my normal self. I was getting very lightheaded, very dizzy, and I just fell over and couldn't breathe and was very kind of scared, especially as the team captain. I thought I had to show them what strength looked like, and I've come to know that strength can look like that as well, just admitting when you're not okay. That's really when I wanted to start advocating for mental health and help others not keep pushing those emotions downward, but really experience them, embrace them, and just live in their truth. At Make Mental, we've been able to positively impact so many student athletes, not just here in the central western New York region, but across the globe. We're in 23 different countries. We're a top 10% podcast according to Listen Notes, and we really are continuing to grow our social media presence so that we can reach more student athletes, because it's our mission to not stop until everyone's story is heard, told, or they feel connected. When you open up and share your story, when you become vulnerable, you invite really any response. At my most recent speech, some of what I said really hit home with a student athlete, and they called me over to the side afterward and asked me some really, really deep personal questions. So it's feedback like that just confirms that what we're doing at Make Mental is pushing the needle forward and really making a difference. That really keeps me going and just fuels the fire.
I volunteer as the treasurer of the ZTTK Foundation. ZTTK is a genetic disease that affects a gene that all of us have. It presents itself in many different ways. Many of the children have intellectual disabilities, low muscle tone, and many develop seizures over time. So I got involved with the ZTTK Foundation, and it all goes back to my daughter. She was born in 2018, and the doctor said everything was okay. Kind of from the beginning, my wife and I knew something wasn't right. We went to every doctor you could imagine. Eventually, our pediatrician got us into a study at Montefiore here in New York City, and they did an exome test on her. About 2 years later, on April 6th of 2021, we got a call, and she said, "Your daughter has a ultra-rare genetic disease called ZTTK. I can't tell you anything else about it because we don't know anything else." That put my wife and I on a spiral. First thing when you find out something's wrong, you go Google it. And there's a Facebook group called ZTTK. And it was started by a mom of the first patient of that study in 2016. So she started the foundation because she was just trying to bring people together. The goal of the foundation is to improve the lives of individuals with ZTTK. We focus on accelerating research, developing effective treatments for those individuals, and ultimately a cure for them. When your child is diagnosed with a ultra rare genetic disease. You can't reach out to friends, family, and ask them what they went through because no one else you will have known will ever experience that. We hope that by having this foundation and helping those families, that when they get that diagnosis, their first step is coming to us and becoming a part of the community. It's hard to have this in our lives, and it is something that hangs over us, and it worries my wife and I all the time because we really have no idea what her life is going to be like. But at the end of the day, we just want her to be happy. And of our 3 kids, she's the easiest one to be happy. She wakes up happy, she goes to bed happy, she comes home from school happy. She is that perfect example of sometimes just happiness is kind of all it takes.
I volunteer for an organization called Development and Research Innovations. Most recently, we have been focusing our efforts on trauma healing in Central Africa, specifically in the country of Burundi. I grew up in Burundi. My parents were missionaries there. We went when I was 4, and shortly after we arrived, there was a coup. 300,000 people were killed. I just remember the fear that people had. It's the same people groups as its northern neighbor, Rwanda, same language and same cycles of genocide. In addition, it's one of the poorest countries in the world. The average GDP is around $365 US a year. So these people are living on pretty much nothing. I moved east to be with my husband, and after my son was born in 1993, I realized that the love I had for my child, they had for their kids too. And I would look at my child and think, here I am in the middle of this affluent country. I have no fear for his safety, but I knew that my friends and their children weren't the same. I was losing my mind. We first put together a team in 2011. It's me and a group of psychologists that went to kind of assess how we can partner with a group there. A friend of mine, he started a ministry called Trauma Healing and Reconciliation Services. So the work that DRI does is especially important because of the number of people that it impacts. And we're empowering people there to be able to respond to risks. We're empowering them to train others. We're empowering them to provide mental health resources to those communities that we couldn't reach. It's very personal for me because it's where I grew up. And they're people I know, I love, people who feel forgotten by the West. And so this is a way for me to stay connected, to let them know that they're heard, they're remembered, they're seen, and provide support where we can.
When I found out that I was nominated for the Bonadio Cares Award and I got the email from Laura, I actually cried. Being at a company like Bonadio that prides itself on giving back to the community is really important to my brother and I when we merged in. And so at the end of the day, what's most important to all of us, it's being part of a community and helping that community.
Being a finalist for the Bonadio Cares Award means the world to me. It just goes to show you that Bonadio really recognizes you and sees you for who you are as a person and as a whole, not just for what you do between the workday hours.
To be nominated for this, only having been part of the company for 5 months, is just really humbling. I love working for Bonadio because I can see that it cares about the community in so many ways. And one of the things as we merged in December 1st was just how similar Bonadio was in its outreach to the community as Cover and Rossiter was.